Okay, cool. And in terms of, there's obviously a whole wealth of kind of those copywriting lenses that you mentioned and things to consider. But if you had to give, a marketing manager or a copywriter three kind of key things to focus on in order to really power up their conversion rates, what would they be? Are there sort of three particular elements that you find are the most important of all the different lenses that you focus on?
Well, you know what, I always find these questions difficult, and I always get asked
yeah.
I always find them tough because I'm like, I've got 13 lenses and they're all important, and I don't want to drop any of the lenses, but yes, I can. If you're twisting my arm and I need to answer, I can do it. And again, I'm going to reference the lenses. Apologies for saying the word lens a million times in this episode. I would say one I touched on earlier, which I would say the outside in lens is definitely one where you can kind of gain some sort of low hanging fruit there. That is basically an approach that we took to our own business, which is, by the outside in lens, I mean, base your decisions on kind of data, demand and data and insights, rather than just your own assumptions. I think that is, assumptions kill copy and marketing strategies and businesses all the time. And I think that for D2C brands, and to be honest, all brands in all industries, applying the outside in lens is a really, really great way to power up your copy. And so ways you can do that are, sending a survey around, like try to actually understand what are your target audience's pain points, what keeps them up at night, what are their desires, what are they looking for, how do they describe that, what are their barriers, right, their perceived barriers, what are the reasons why 95% of the people on your website are not converting, for example, and their journey and other things like that, their comparison factors, what are they using to compare your product with other products on the market, right? All of these things are crucial to actually find out and not just make assumptions about. You might have very good assumptions, but if you can ask your audience, it's just so much more powerful, and then use that to like really focus your copy around those insights. And another cool thing, I think it's pretty cool anyway, if you're doing that, let's say sending a survey out or creating a poll on your site, you can gather what we call voice of customer data. So the words and phrases that your target audience are using to describe all of those things, and then weave that into your copy. Because essentially what you're doing there is you're talking the language of your audience, right? And if they've described a pain point in a certain way, maybe it's a common word that you've seen in all those results, that's how you should be describing it. More likely to resonate with the type of people you're trying to convert, because it's literally come from the horse's mouth, right? It's from them. And a quick win for D2C brands is what we call review mining. So most D2C kind of retail brands, for example, rely on reviews, right? Trustpilot, etc., Amazon reviews, and all kinds of things. That's a gold mine of voice of customer language. So a quick win, and we often, when we work with D2C brands and they're looking for kind of conversion tips, that's the first place we go to. Like, let's look through all of their reviews, pick out things and get insights and weave it in, because it's there. You don't even need to, we call it implicit data collection. You don't actually need to get any input from anyone. It's already there. So outside in lens, that's kind of got a few tips in there. I'd say another one, I'm going to reference the lens again, the context lens. Very important. This is all about understanding context, like where, and within that, three main things I focus on. So your audience's level of intent, sophistication, and their stage of awareness. So I'll talk about the stages of awareness. This was coined by Eugene Schwartz like years ago, pre-digital, and it still applies today. Out there in the world, your target audience will fit into one of these five categories, these five stages of awareness. So they're unaware of their pain point, but they've got a problem. Usually we're not going after those. Usually businesses aren't aren't targeting, it's difficult to sell to someone who isn't aware that they have a problem to solve. Then there's problem aware, right? So they're aware of the pain points. I'll give an example in a second. Then, but they're not aware of the solutions yet. So they're looking for the solutions. Solution aware means that they know what the solution is that they're looking for. Then it was traditionally called product aware, but we call it brand aware. They know about your offering. And then most aware is when they're on the cusp of buying. Basically, they're in buying mode. They have all the information they need, and you just need to push them over the line. We added a stage of awareness to that, which is truth aware, which is post-sale. It's the people that already customers, and they know the truth. And it's, as you know, it's a great place to actually, get more revenue from. So it's important to know where your prospects are at in terms of their stage of awareness, because your messaging should be different. And I'll give you an example. I currently, literally right now, have lower back pain, and I've suffered from it all my life. I might be typing into Google, lower back pain, problem, what to do, for example, like what to do about my lower back pain. I am problem aware. As a brand, let's say you're selling me ergonomic furniture, for example, you will know via my keyword search terms that I'm most likely problem aware. So I should be landing on a landing page that is targeted at someone at that stage, where you start with the problem and then you start to build problem, agitation, solution. You start to sell the solution. However, if I'm typing into Google ergonomic furniture, I'm solution aware. I'm at a different stage in that journey. So I should be directed to a different landing page, whereby you're expectation matching. So meeting me at the point where I am in that journey, and then selling that next step. And so we like to say it's all about selling the next step in the funnel, in the journey. Don't propose on the first date. Don't sell to someone who's not even aware of the problem or the solutions, etc. You need to educate them and take them on that journey. And that's why content marketing exists, like for that purpose, to sort of take people down.
Move people down,
that's number two. Can I give you, we got time for third?
Do it, go on.
Third lens. So this is a really cool one. This is my favorite lens. It's primal brain lens. And this is about the fact that basically, I'm no neuroscientist. Let me just clarify that. So any neuroscientists that are listening, I apologize for my explanation here, but basically we've got like a new part to our brain and an old part, right? There's the kind of neocortex, the new part that sort of governs reasoning and rationality and logic and things like that. And then there's the primal brain, which basically kind of governs emotions, instincts, etc. And the fact is that primal part, the primal brain, as we call it, it just works much faster, right? So if there's a tiger coming right at you, you're not going to sort of stand there and pause for thought and start measuring and weighing up the pros and cons.
What should I do?
Being alive, would I like that or not? You just, instinct kicks in before any of that happens, and you run for the hills. So it's a clever way to hook people's attention and actually sell, is by tapping into the primal brain. So instincts and emotions, right? So the fear is very powerful, fear factor. So if you want to hook someone and get them from social, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a vitamin brand. You could have a hook line like, which of these vitamins are you missing? Is your body missing? Or something like that. That would stop someone in the chat to go, oh, hang on, I don't know. There's fear there, and it's a powerful driver, the powerful way to pull towards your landing page or wherever it is. And emotions, naturally, we always say, sell a good night's sleep, not the mattress. Don't focus too much on features, focus on features and the benefits, and again, how they describe those benefits. And then some other little tricks that I'll sprinkle in. Sensory words work well because they connect to our emotions a bit faster. So, if words like silky or shiny or stink, right, they're more powerful because they sensory connect to the emotions quicker, so you can get attention, you can really build that emotion more, and even onomatopoeic words, which is a bit of a mouthful, like pop, bang, sizzle. The idea of it, imagine if you're trying to get the attention of a lizard, right? What would work? Loud pops, you know, contrast as well. Contrast works. That's why you often show a before and an after. It's a very powerful thing for the human brain to see on an ad, you know, before and after. Like immediately you get it before you start thinking, because contrast works. So that's the primal brain, and there are ways you can weave that in to just make your copy stronger, more emotive, more compelling, grab people, grip people, and then convert more prospects.
Love it. Thank you. That's super helpful. I particularly around those kind of the getting their attention and using those different types of words. I hadn't considered that before, so it's interesting to hear. Okay, final question, quick fire. If you had to name one brand that you think in the DTC space that you think is really killing it right now in terms of copy, who would you say? Is there one that's kind of standing out at the moment?
There's a brand called Button Up Box.
Yeah.
You know, the
dog food. Yeah.
And I actually don't have a dog, but we talked about them internally. And our strategist Tim has a dog, and we've just looked at again, for it as a D2C brand, just love what they're doing in terms of just ticking all of those boxes, you know, and you can see it from going on their site and kind of reverse engineering it and just looking at doing everything right. And I think both copy and design and business model and emotions and personalization, you know, all of these things that work so well, especially now. I mentioned vitamins earlier. I like Vital, who again just doing everything right, and that whole brand look and feel as well as the copy, and again the personalization, which seems to have cropped up a couple of times, whereby, I mean, that's more kind of around the business model, but it's just the more personal you are naturally with copy. That's why conversational copy works. That's why using the word you and your works, and asking questions works, because you feel like you're in a one-on-one dialogue. So you're more kind of compelled. So naturally, if there's a real personalized product or survey that you immediately go down something, and then the content, the copy, and the product itself is tailored based on the questions that you've answered, it's just going to work better. It's going to resonate more with that individual.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Button Up Box, because that's often, he seems to be one that gets mentioned and bandaged around a bit. So clearly doing well. Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been a load of information there, so super helpful. Been great to have you on, and look forward to chatting again soon. Thanks, Konrad.
Thanks for having me.
Cool, thanks.